Soy Podcast. Let's speak on it. Speak on this. Let's speak on it. Speak on this. Throw me a topic. Let's speak on this. Say that again. Let's lean on it. That is my opinion. I'm being honest. That is the fact. Don't meme on this. Speak on it. Speak on it. Speak on it. Let's speak on it. Speak on it. You thought we were done? Throw me a topic. Let's speak on it. Say that again. Let's lean on it. That is my opinion. I'm being honest. That is the fact. Don't mean on this. Speak on it. Speak on it. Speak on it. Speak on it. Throw me a topic. Let's speak on it. Say that again. Let's lean on it. That is my opinion. I'm being honest. That is the fact. Don't mean on this. Speak on it. Speak on it.
Yo, it's another episode of Speak On It Podcast, and we are out here. It's me and my dog, Ninja Marc, in the house. You feel me?
School player.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shouts out to the whole crew, obviously, Clutch behind the camera, and also shouts out to Blessed.
Yeah, man.
We feel you, big dog. We out here holding it down for you, big dog. All right? We got you, bro. We got you. So, today's topic is going to be a very interesting topic, man. And I got to be real with y'all, man. We had to really think about how we wanted to voice it out, you know. So we got something, and then we'll see how it evolves. But basically, what we want to talk about is how can we as men do better to improve ourselves. All right, that's the bottom line. How can we as men do better to improve ourselves? All right, so bro, that's the question, man. I've introduced the show, so I think I'll let you, give your own spill on it, and what you want to kind of like maybe open up about, or even if you want to start branching into a particular point of the conversation. But that's our broad stroke. How can we as men improve ourselves, do better to improve ourselves? So what's up, Ninja? What's good?
It's good, man. How was your week, by the way, man? How was your week?
Man, my week has been all right. It's been all right. Still working, doing my thing out there. You already know what time it is. And as we're talking about the topic, I'm just working on some improvements, too, in my own life. You feel me?
Yeah. Things
Things I got to do better on, better at. You know, I'm always on the mindset of trying to improve.
It's good.
So, yeah, it's been a good week, but, I've had better weeks, if I'm being real. But we're hoping to get better weeks to come,
Better
from
weeks
this
to come.
one.
I
Yeah, for
understand,
sure.
man.
How about you, bro? My bad. How's your week?
Bro, gosh. And for the people that are into investing and stuff, and I'm still kind of new at this, in a way. But as you all know, you'll lose. You win some, you lose some. And that's one of the things I'm trying to do to, obviously set myself up financially, financial freedom. And obviously, it was going great. And obviously made a bad calculation. And most of the profit I made, I lost. Still kept some. But, as that's, like I said, you got to know how to lose, not to be a good winner. You have to learn from your losses. That's the only way you'll improve. So, I learned from it. I'm gonna make mistakes. It's gonna happen. But, kind of like, it kind of messes with your psyche. I'm not gonna lie. But I had a good week overall, man. What I like about where I'm heading is the fact that I'm locked in. I'm able to, ignore all the distractions around me and focus on my priorities more. And that's something I'm proud of that, man. So it's a learning thing for me. I'm learning to stay focused. So I have short attention span. So that's kind of like, for me, I'm doing better at that. So yeah, my week was good, man. I'm blabbing, man. I'm talking too much. But yeah, man.
You good?
Obviously going working out. There's something I had 2 weeks off. I wasn't feeling well, so now getting back. I'm trying to get back because that's very important to me. So yeah, my week was good overall, man. But to answer your questions, bro, that's a very good question. How can we do better as men and improve? Let's start with, a lot of time, how do we become a man? Because we started as being a boy, right? Like, you have a lot of older guy that don't know how to be a man. I feel like we're gonna start, like, how do you become a man to begin with? I feel like you have to have a father figure in your life. and being raised in a good environment that's gonna teach you the value of man. What's your role in the society and how to handle responsibility and pressures that come with life. Because in life, bro, you're gonna face a lot of things that you're not gonna be ready for all the time. A lot of time, you'll be able to rely on the information that was given to you by your parents, by your dad, especially seeing how he handles certain things. And I'm gonna start with that, having a father figure or maybe an older brother, uncle, whatever it is, a man that's been through it. That's what I see that we like in society nowadays, man. We're seeing a lot of men struggling with maybe self-esteem, self-love, and overall just knowing what it's like to be a man. Because it takes a lot to learn to give up that childish way, that boyish type of thing in mentality. And I feel like I said, man, having a man in your life, that's what I'm gonna start with it. I don't know if you want to add anything to it, but I'm gonna start with that. To improve, I know we're talking about improve, but first of all, how do you become a man? We'll start with that.
Right. So yeah, we don't want to just assume that a guy or a male is a man, because I don't think it's I like how you say you got to be a man first, because I don't think it's an age thing per se. Well, kind of in a way, but you get people that are of age to be a man, but then they don't really act like a man, or they don't really do things as men should. And I think the point that you bring up is having a person who's a role model or a father figure for you to show you, like, hey, or even talk to you about certain things, certain questions you may have, or a certain way you're supposed to act and carry yourself as a man. Without that person giving you those guidance, you may not know. You may stumble upon it. Struggle to even understand your identity. As a man in society. So yeah, that's a really good point. I like that you start there. Just making sure you have your foundation, I would say, right? If you want to start it there, like somebody in your life that role model it for you, what it looks like to be a man. And yeah, so I agree with that. And also too, I would have to add, like, it's your mindset too, because having a figure in your life is great, but at the same time, you got to be able to take those things and understand that they need to be applied. At the end of the day, I don't think anybody could live anybody else's life for them. It's great that we have people in our lives to give us advice and role model things for us, but you as the person, you have to own it. As a man, you have to know that, all right, I'm no longer a child. I'm no longer a kid, so there are certain things that I'm going to have to be, held accountable for or be responsible for. Because when you look at a kid, they don't really have to worry about bills. They don't really have to worry about, what they're going to eat or whatever. Sometimes you just come home, you just open the fridge, or if there's nothing in the house, you like, Mom, Dad, why is there no whatever? You have somebody you can complain for. But when you're a man, you got to make that happen. If you ain't got no food, you don't have to make it happen. You feel me? So as an improvement, like your mind, I feel like is the first place, because you could find someone who's probably like 18, 19, 20, and they have the mind of a man. Like they already know, okay, I want to, set certain goals. I want to achieve certain things by a certain time. And, they understand that concept and they're applying it. They working at it. And you could have somebody who's 40 years old and all they want to do is play video games all day, watch YouTube. They may have a job because it's like you kind of have to work in a way. But aside from working, it's like their life is not really going anywhere in a way. They don't really, like I said, they're 40 and at that point they haven't really accomplished anything. And a lot of times too, you find people like that still living at home sometimes. Their parents maybe might be like 80 years old or whatever, and they're like 40, but they're still living. They never left their parents' home. It's not like they came back to help their parents because they were elderly. Like from the time they was born, they never ventured out. Yeah. They never felt a sense of, I got to get up out of here to create my own, life. So if you can't do that, that's one of the prime example or key indicators to tell you that, you haven't really reached the mindset of a man yet. If you don't feel like I got to get out of here, like to start my own life. And, knowing that, like you said, there's things that's going to come along the way as you're trying to create that life. But at the same time, you know, embrace those things, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving forward. You know.
Man, I hear you, bro. I hear you. It's not an age thing, like you said, because you know, we're gonna switch gear a little bit because there's something I'm itching to talk about. But like you said, man, we're talking about this before we even start the podcast today. Before we start recording, we're talking about how some man, like being a man, is sometimes we think, oh, I just gotta provide, like go to work, especially if you're married, go to work and just bring, you know, the money to the house and then make sure that's it. But no, like as a man, you have such a big responsibility, like. Especially, let's say you're working 8 hours a day. Every time you come home, you have kids, you don't talk to your kids, you don't even take them out, you don't take them to the playground and play with them, you don't sit there and tell them about life. All you know is go to work and, hey, your mom will take care of everything. Hey, hon, you got this. And as a man, I feel like a lot of men does that too. That's the thing. I don't have kids yet. I'm not married yet, but I've seen it plenty of times where a man just kind of like it's kind of like something they probably was taught. Yo, just make sure you go to work, provide for the household, and you be fine. But it goes a lot deeper than that. And a lot of times you'll be like, bro, like that's your child. It doesn't hurt to spend an hour with them, and then sometimes they wonder why the kids don't do well. Like, oh man. Like, I raised you, I give you everything you needed. Why are you doing this? Nah. Like, their friends, they're closer to their friends. They're closer to the people that's not even family because they spend time with them. They get to talk to them and they get to be themselves around them. You know what I mean? So, as a dad, like, I feel like as a man overall, we have to learn certain things that we probably was taught that we need to start looking into it. Like, we have to do more than just the bare minimum. And I'm glad we're having this conversation, bro. And that's something that obviously is gonna come with age, and sometimes you having the right person around you. Because I didn't learn some of those things on my own. I had to see people make mistakes, and then I had to talk to people that actually been there, done that, and tell me. You know what I mean? So having the right environment helps a lot. Be around the right person, the right people, and have the right circles. Definitely helps. Before I move on, you want to add to anything? You want to add anything to this? Because that's something I'm gonna mention.
Yeah, I do. It is like a big thing for men or guys to think like provider mode, like because like I guess you could say people don't want to be like looked at as the person who's like not even able to even do that. Like you said, it's the bare minimum. Like I think if you're a man, one of your first things that you want to actually make sure you take care of is like, okay, I'm gonna be financially okay. Like I'm gonna be able to work, earn something that I can use or whatnot, which is great. But like you said, once you finish that, that's not like everything that encompasses like a man. Like there's way more than just going to work and providing, especially if you're a dad. Like you got to be able to spend time and have conversations, with your kids, like to learn like who are they becoming, and for them to learn you too, because all they're gonna see is you going to work and you coming home and you're not spending time with them. They might not even think you love them. They might not even think you value them.
Yeah.
They think like, well, you must love work
so
because you spend most of your time working.
Yeah.
And at the same time, as a guy, you might think, yeah, I have to work to make sure you eat. But kids don't care about that.
They don't care about that,
They don't understand that concept. Like, so you need to give them what they care about, which is your time.
I don't care if you're tired. Let's go outside and play.
Let's go and play. And then I feel like the older your children get, they will start to understand, like, yeah, dad works hard. He may not be able to work 8, 9, 10 hours and then play with me for 4 hours straight. He may be able to give me 2 hours or an hour, but at the same time, he's giving me some time versus him coming home and be like, I'm tired. I can't, I can't do that and the other. Sometimes too, when you don't get spend time to talk to your kids, and the only time you actually talk to them is to discipline them, I don't think that's a good model.
It's worse. It's even worse.
Because now you looked at as the bad guy. Like, you don't ever talk to me, but when you talk to me, you always gotta scold me. Like, even though the kid did do something wrong, I'm not saying not to discipline your kids and talk to them and let them know what's right or wrong. But at the same time, if the most of the time when you talk to them, that's why you're talking to them, then you missing it, because even with regular conversation, even with going outside to play catch or play ball or take a walk or a bike or even play video games with your kids, just spend some time that you guys are bonding, doing things that they like and you may not even like anymore, but as a dad, you better, you got to get with the program. If you got a girl, whatever they like, their interests are, you got to line up with that. You feel me? So you can build that relationship from that point and start to tell them this is what, our expectations are as a family, as your dad and me and your mom, this is what we expect from you. So that way, when they steer away from those expectations, you can tell them, remember what we talked about? Yeah. Then it's not like, oh, shoot, you talking to me when I'm doing something wrong. It's like, you did tell me that, you did tell me that to me when I did, before I even did it. Now that I've done it, we have a reference point, it's like, oh, you're right, Dad. I'm sorry. Like, you told me not to do it and I did do it. And just having that relationship, man, it means a lot, because now you're raising a woman or you're going to raise a future man, like you mentioned before, the first thing you talked about was having a role model. You have to be that role model for your kids. You do want them to, if you have a boy, you want them to know that men go to work. And also when men come home, they have a family that it's your job is never over. You feel me? You work, and also when you're home, you continue to work as a dad and a husband, so that they can see how to be a dad and a husband. Or for a girl, they can see how men should treat them, when they're in a relationship with them in the future, like their husband. How this how my husband's supposed to treat me, because I see how my dad treats my mom. Yeah. As a man. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had, to add to it, in case you wanted to kind of shift, into another thing too. But it's two key things: role models, you said in the beginning, and right now, just as a provider, you're not just a provider; you're more than a provider. As a man, if you have a family specifically.
Wow, you said a lot there, man. Man, that's a lot of good information. And as a future dad, for me, for sure, I'm gonna make sure that I spend time with my kids, especially if it's a girl, especially the girls, man, especially. And obviously, you've seen a lot of young men out there that you feel like, man, they lost. They don't know what direction to take in life. All they know is, hey, maybe they see around the blocks they live in, people selling drugs or, just
scamming,
have 2 or 3 baby mamas and unemployed, all of that. And all of that plays a factor on not having a role model, obviously.
Yeah, right.
Not having a dad. Maybe their dad went to prison, and now their dad is not doing well and he's homeless, whatever. So that plays a big role as men. We're trying to change that cycle. One thing that I noticed though, as men, we kind of, especially my generation, like the young men out there, we were talking about this before we even came up with the topic. What are some of the downfalls that men face in life and that hinder them from being successful?
Yeah. It's a few things out there, man. We probably not even gonna be able to cover every single one of them, but
there's a lot.
For me, if you think of downfall, like a lot of times, sometimes it might just be you too. That kind of like, let's start with you.
That's deep.
The guy, the man. Let's start with that. Like, you might be the reason why you're not succeeding, because
accountability.
Yeah, you gotta hold yourself accountable, man. Like, you gotta be able to. If you know what you want, nothing's given in life. Nothing is given. I don't care what it is. Let's speak in the mindset of someone who wants to be a entrepreneur. Like, let's say someone who wants to do their own thing, their own grind. Let's say you were working for somebody before you change your mind. When you were working for that person, you went to work, right? You clocked in, clocked out, you did it. You did everything you had to do to make sure you was good. And some people think that when they trying to do something for themselves, they sometimes get lazy, right? they don't hold themselves accountable. They're like, oh, if I don't get this done today, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it another time, because there's no boss that's like, yo, I need that done today. By the end of the day, I need this done, this report done, this whatever, right? So when you hear that, you're like, oh man, I gotta get it done. I gotta get it done because my boss said. But you should feel as a man 10 times more. You should hold yourself 10 times more accountable when it's you, because you're not no longer working for somebody else to succeed their business. You're trying to start your own thing or continue your own
And it's
thing.
harder.
It is way harder, but you got to be able to put that much more time into it, because you got to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of reasons why someone may fail or whatever is because once they may doubt even why they doing what they doing, you know? And doubt may come here and there. I'm not saying you always going to stay positive all the time, because sometimes life is going to hit you with a lot of blows. You feel me?
Man.
So you got to have the mental fortitude as a man to be like, all right, this is not going to be easy, but this is my passion. This is what I want to do. All right. And I'm going to give it my all. All right. And then once you can create that mindset, that mental fortitude to do that, then you can start preventing a lot of these other things. Because when somebody else come tell you you're not going to make it, that's not going to phase you.
Yeah.
Because you believe in yourself that much more.
Right.
And you're willing to
You're not afraid to fail.
You're not afraid to fail, right? You're willing to put so much more work into it than you would do for an employer. You feel me? Because now you're the employer and you hired yourself. So you got to be able to hold yourself accountable, you know? And even if you work for somebody, you feel me? Like, you also got to, like, don't let people have to always talk to you about doing this, that, and the other. If you know your job, if you know responsibility, what you're required to do, you get it done. You know, as a man, you should not always have people always, you know, try to, like, tell you what to do. Now, I'll, you know, be open. Like, for me, I'm trying to be, not trying to be, being a businessman or whatnot.
Yeah.
My wife is my biggest supporter, and also she, you know, holds me accountable too. Like, a lot of times she's like, babe, you know, you gotta, like, make sure you stay on the ball at all times, because things may stay, you know, complacent. They may stay. You gotta always kick it into gear, like the next gear. Like, you can't be satisfied with this right here. You gotta always strive for the next thing. And I'm grateful for that, man. You know, and I'll say this too. You know, as a married man, your wife, your significant other, you know, they gotta have your back 100%, and you gotta allow them that space, you know, to be able to help you, you know, as you're trying to strive. It's a together thing. It's not just you trying to get your dreams and goals. She's gonna believe in you. And that means she's sharing that dream and sharing that goal. You feel me? So, as the wife, you gotta, like, make sure you hold your husband accountable. Make sure you tell him, hey, babe, this is what we said. This is what you said. Like, make sure you do what you said. You know, that way they can keep pushing you to move forward, because when you succeed, they succeed. Right. You feel me? So I'll start with the person, yourself. Like, you got to be able to hold yourself accountable. You got to be able to, you know, work hard, put your all into whatever you got to do. You know, that can definitely start preventing you from some of the downfalls and pitfalls in life.
It's good stuff, man. All right. Now I'm gonna add to this, man. I'm gonna add to this. Yes, start with yourself, right? Man, but the biggest for me, one of the biggest things, it could be the biggest, but I'll say one of the biggest. Everybody has their own opinion on what they think is the biggest thing. That biggest downfall, in my opinion, for men is the fact that, one, we don't have our priorities straight. Priorities, right? Especially for a young man, bro. You seen it in high school, bro. Like, in college, like, man, we're chasing women. Like, I mean, especially in college, bro, after class, there's some men that's skipping class just so they could try to go talk to girls, bro. Like, and you see them stand there in a breezeway somewhere where they know a lot of girls gonna pass by. They stand there, just wait. And it's like, bro, like, you chasing, but I get it. Like, duh. But you gotta have your priorities straight. When you start skipping in class now, and
You're jeopardizing yourself.
You're jeopardizing yourself. And that's the reason why now you see more women, like, in the education field. Like, they take it more seriously. You know what I mean? And one thing that, as men, that I feel like we don't understand yet is the fact that, yeah, you're gonna get a few girls, obviously. You know, especially if you got game, you're gonna get a few girls. You're gonna then what? You know what I mean? Then what's next? Are you gonna keep doing that the rest of your life? And there are some men that does that. That's all they do. You know what I mean? But it's better as a man, I feel like, when you have your priorities straight, women give you more respect, and then you won't have to chase no more in a way. It comes to you. Women love a guy that they see have the stuff together. Like, man, he look like he got his stuff together. Man, he confident. He got his stuff together. Man, I can't rock with him. I could give him a chance. And that's one thing that I feel like one of the biggest downfall for men is obviously women were created because, like, if we're gonna go back to like biblical time, Adam was like, "Yo, God, what you doing, man? Like, I can't be around those dogs and cats and all those. I need something else." And God gave him woman. And obviously, we know, hey, not pointing fingers here. You know, Adam and Eve. God says, "Don't eat the fruit," and Eve was like, hey, you know, eat it, man. You might like it. Adam was like, "All right, man, you're my girl. I'll try it." Whatever. But yeah, you see over and over again where, like, we love women, but understand that you have to be able to control your urges and stuff like that. I feel like as men, you see in Samson. Is it Samson? Yeah, in the Bible, like, yo, being able to choose one, don't like you gonna stop chasing, set yourself up first, and then they'll come to you. All right, it'll come to you, and then. When you chase, a lot of time you might end up with the wrong person too. And this is where you get stuck. You know what I mean? You see a lot of guys not doing well. They're on child support, 4 or 5 baby mama. And it's like you were saying, having the right partner in your life, bro, like that's going to hold you accountable. So hey, you're not doing well. I want you to improve, man. I'm not going to tolerate this. You know what I mean? Having someone that's going to love you and hold you accountable, and you know it's out of love. That's important. But one of the biggest downfall, I'm going to let you add to it because I could say a lot more, but I'm going to let you add to it, is chasing too much. Yeah, there's a point in time for that. But then, you know, when you start, you know, in your 20s, yo, what do I want to do with my life? You know what I mean? Know your goal and purpose and pursue it. Like you said, we could be the reason for our own downfall.
Right. Yeah.
But then once we can kind of like overcome that and realize that, yo, I need to do better myself. I got to improve. That's when we start winning. Because the topic is, how can we do better as men to improve ourselves?
Right.
One, realize that we need to do, like, yo, what's my goal and my purpose? And pursue that. And understand that women not going nowhere, bro. They're not going nowhere. I feel like some of us think sometimes, bro, like, yo, like, I'm going to miss out. Nah, bro, they're not going nowhere. Focus on yourself and all things will work out.
Right. Man, I mean, that almost brings me to, it actually did. While you was talking, I was thinking about, you know, this verse in Matthew that says, "Seek ye first the kingdom and all these things will be added." You talking about priority and, you know, you got to get it. You got to understand, like me, God's first, bro. Like, you know, I give God credit for everything that I'm able to do. There's nothing that I know that I can do that wasn't given to me by God. So that I believe in that, man. When you seek God, He's gonna give you everything else you need. Just to kind of bring this now out of the biblical, but into like what you were saying, like someone going to school and they don't have their priorities, you know, in order. Like, unfortunately, I would say some women actually let these guys, in a way, like you said, if a guy has 4 or 5 baby mamas, that's 4 or 5 women that allowed him to get into their life. They probably
know he has like 1 or 2, 3 baby mamas, and they still
they might. It's unfortunate though, but like that's different people that allow this person to come into their life and continue that same pattern of not having a priority and you know, having a kid with them and leaving. You know, so once you have your priority, like, let's, you know, for me it's God first, right? And then everything else comes, you know, so you need to be ready. Like, if you're gonna, like you said, chasing women is one thing, but there's a reason why they continue to chase, because they probably did get someone, but then that person realized they're you know, they're nobody. Like, why am I with this person? You know, if a woman has their head on their shoulder, they'll realize real quick. It might take a little while because the guy might, you know, run some game on them, whatever. But eventually, the right woman will start to ask the right questions. Like, hey, what's your goal for the next 3 months, a year, 5 years? And they might say something here and there, but then they're gonna start to like realize, okay, you have this goal. What are you doing about it?
Yeah.
That's the priority though. Like, if a guy has a priority, automatically when they say that goal, they already know what step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. into their goals. So once you have your priority and you meet those things, because you're chasing a woman, why? Is it because are you ready for one right now, or is it because you just want to have a woman?
Pleasure. It's pleasure.
It's just for pleasure,
it's
right?
for the pleasure,
Right. You doing that just for pleasure, and then that's a distraction in a way to stop you from where you need to go. Because if you have not got to where you need to be at in life, you don't really need to worry about chasing women. Now, I'm not gonna say you need to be done with everything to have a woman in your life, because for me, I wasn't done with everything I needed to be done, but I'm married, I have a wife, but she came along and understanding and believing in that, and then keeping me, like I said, accountable. So I'm not saying you need to be done with everything to be ready, but you need to be at a place mentally where you're like, I need to find someone and settle down, not just for pleasure sake. You feel me? Like it wasn't just a pleasure sake, because for me, when me and my wife started dating, it was like, yo, all right, I'm dating to get married. I'm not trying to like try this out and see how it works. Obviously, if it wasn't going to work out, it wasn't going to work out. But my intentions going into it was not for it to be something just to do, just to have fun or whatever. It was like, yo, I see this person from afar as someone that looks like, they have dreams, plans, goals, something to offer,
to better you,
ambitions. Improve. And I'm like, all right, now if I come into this relationship, I need to come with the same mindset. And I had the same mindset. Yeah. So when she realized that, I realized that, it was like, yo, let's start worrying about, planning our marriage. Let's, plan this, that, and the other, our future. And things were lining up. It wasn't like she's trying to get married, I'm not ready. Or I'm trying to get married, she's not ready. Because at the same time, there are men that are ready for a certain thing, and then they're not finding, like you said, the right partner, because you could be ready to get married, everything, you have your priorities in check, and it's time to get married. And at the same time, you dating someone, they may not be at that time in their life. You feel me? They may not be ready to be married.
Yeah.
At the same time. So it's not just the man too. So that's another thing. Like if you're dating someone and they're not ready for that step, and you know what you want, they may not be that person for you. You got to meet that person that's going to catch you where you at in life to get you to the next point. Not someone that you're going to catch to slow you down. All right? To slow you down to wait now, for you to keep moving. So, or slow somebody else down in their plan as a man. A lot of guys do that. You feel me? They meet a girl and she was like ready, like you said, you meet her at school at the Breezeway. She was trying to study. Now because you're in their life, you want to go party now. You want to do other things, because you wasn't really worrying about school. You skip class to talk to them. Yeah. So you think you're going to push them to go to class, or you're going to be like, yo, let's just, whatever. Forget about the class. Let's just hang out. Let's just chill. Now you slowing them down in their path. You feel me? So, yeah, man, you're right. Like when it comes to, like I said, priorities, when it comes to, certain things, you got to be ready for those things. And, as a man, you got to, don't chase, bro. Like when you're ready, like it will come.
It will come.
It will come.
I guarantee you, when you have your ish together, bro, they will come.
It will come.
It will come.
It will come.
Be patient.
Right. Mm-hmm. And, I guess, another distraction too for a lot of men, it could be like, social media.
Oh, big time. Like, I was gonna get to that, man.
Yeah, like, go ahead. You gotta speak on it, bro.
Bro, like, gosh, man, social media, bro. Man, so much temptation. Man,
I'll just say this before you add too. Yeah. I know you got a lot to say. Like, what you see on social media usually is not the reality.
Most of the time, it's not the reality.
A lot of the time, what you see on someone's page, bruh, is probably not what the real deal is.
I've seen some girl, like, you see a girl on social media. Like, I'm like, I know you're in real life. You don't look that good. How you make yourself like... Anyway, let me that.
This guy.
Let me that. Hey, I'm not calling nobody ugly, but it's like, you have to be careful, man. As a man, like I said, we were created, like women were created for us. So that's a weak spot. It's always going to be a weak spot. And to mention, why do men keep chasing is that we were taught that, man, the more you have, the more of a man you are. Right? The more women you got, the more of a man you are. We give you props. My dog's a player. That man guy.
I'm not a player.
He got, I don't want to say, he's not. He married. Yeah. Yo, show him the ring. He married, man.
Hey, the ring's here, man.
I got a ring, but it's in the wrong finger. So, I'm good.
He needs to get his life together.
But yeah, man, it's like the more, the better. And a lot of time, yeah, it's a phase, man. Who doesn't, as a man, who doesn't want to have two? Hey, it's a phase, but then you get over that phase. Um, but having a man and like we were saying earlier, having that man that you seen him talk to you, yo, it's not about having 4 or 5. Then seeing how my dad, let's say, I see how my dad is treating my mom, how he loves her, and do so much. We'll be like, man, I wanna have something like that. Kind of like you have an example to follow. I'm not saying it's always gonna be the case where if you doing this that your son is gonna turn out to be that way.
Right.
But there's a pretty good chance where he'll, even if he's not doing it right now, but later on in his life, he's gonna be like, bro, I had this example I need to follow.
Mm-hmm.
But to go back to that social media thing, bro, it's kind of like the same thing with school. Now it's more easily accessible. Mm-hmm. You have more options. Mm-hmm. Like you have guys that, especially with like OnlyFans and stuff, like, yo, you're gonna waste money on a woman that's just gonna be there, probably like do a few things. I don't know. I don't have OnlyFans. I never had it. I don't know how it works. And from what I heard, they're gonna cancel all those, pornography content and stuff.
Which is great.
Hey, which is good, man. Which is good.
Yeah, I don't,
Not everybody's gonna agree with that because some men's gonna be like, bro, what you talking about, man?
Right, but my stance on it is, pornography, all that stuff is not good for you.
Yeah, and it's
so that's why I say it's great.
Danger in that, and a lot of men struggle with that.
Yeah, a lot of men.
We've all
everybody.
been. I'm not gonna.
Myself.
We've all been there.
Yeah, everybody.
I
think every single man and woman, some women too. Like you've been exposed to it. I've talked about this plenty of times. When I used to be, not to cut you off, but I used to be like doing Bible stuff, like Sunday school with some kids, and that's something I was like, I had to let them know, like as a young man, like however you got exposed to it, you got exposed to it. But then it's something that's not easy if you let yourself dive into it to kick off.
I gotta laugh because I remember,
bro. Like you can't, like you just don't think you're just gonna kick it off. Nah, like that's why if you can prevent yourself from going. I feel like every single person will see one type of, especially now. You don't even need to try to watch pornography, bro. You can just be watching a regular movie or a TV show. At this point, some shows and movies are pretty much like that. Like you might get exposed to it that way. By just thinking you're watching a regular movie, you didn't go to a porn site, you didn't go to I'm not trying to promote those things, but at the same time, you didn't go look for it. You were just watching the movie, and then they have a scene that's super explicit, and that boom, there you go. Now your mind's open to that. They unlocked your mind, and now you gotta as a young guy or young woman too. Like you gotta you have hormones, you have a lot of things going on. That's why we're talking about it's important for you to have a figure in your life that's gonna be able to tell you, hey, these things will come. You will have these certain feelings, there's certain emotions, there's certain urges, or whatever. And this is why you should not let them control you. You control them. Because at the end of the day, it's not gonna be good for you. Mentally, it's not gonna be good for you in your relationship. It's not gonna be good for you because you're gonna think that what you saw is what you're gonna get all the time from somebody else, and they may not be like, I'm not that person. That's not what I view as whatever. I'm not gonna do X, Y, Z just because you saw it and you wanna, whatever, So it's very tough. But I think you were talking about obviously OnlyFans not doing those things. I'm like, that's great. Shoot, I don't know what they're gonna do now because obviously I have never participated in it. You say you never participated in it. I don't know what it was about, but I don't know what their new model will be. I hope probably they might gonna lose a lot of I feel like they did
someone else gonna create something
else, right?
The
old saying, like sex sells or whatever.
Yeah,
like that's why a lot of these movies are doing what they're doing. All these TV shows are doing what they're doing. That's why you still have all these places still open. Places where you go buy, whatever you want to go buy. You feel me? So I think they used it as a way to get the platform to be where it's at, and they feel like they're at a point where like they don't really need it anymore. But they may lose a lot of people. Obviously, there's people that only went for those reasons. I don't know if they're staying.
Yeah, they're branching out because obviously they get bigger.
And big ups to them, you know. But hey, I don't really appreciate how they got to where they got to. But hey, at least they say, hey, we're not doing it no more.
If you a man, we're not judging you. If you had an OnlyFans, you know people like you're following. We understand.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But to your point, yeah, like that could be, you know, a big thing. Like, you know, like people doing that, or you know, I just want to kind of like get you back to where you were.
Yeah, like I'm talking about, like, man, temptation. Like, you've seen so many, like, you know, gorgeous women. Obviously, even some of them, they got, you know, the bodies done. They still look good, you know, BBL and stuff. So, I think that's where, like, that's now has become one of the biggest downfall for man, because now. In a way, it gives you a false sense of reality too. You know, now it makes you thirsty. Like all those thirst traps you're seeing online. Now it's like, oh man, oh my gosh, I gotta have this. I gotta have her. I gotta do this now. Like I've been seeing in comments, like guys that I commenting on the pictures. I'm like, bro, like. And like, don't you know she's doing this to get likes and views? Like you acting like crazy. Like you're never gonna get her like that. And usually those girls, they go for the guys who has the stuff together, guys who has money, and guys who has the money. They're not gonna come after you, who's just like behind your computer at your mom's house in a basement somewhere, not doing good for yourself, thinking that they gonna come. Nah, bro. Yeah, you're helping them actually. You're helping them improve the brand, growing the brand by, you know, liking and commenting and doing all that stuff. Work on yourself. Like I was saying, like the temptation is always gonna beat. Obviously, you know, we fall 7 times and stand up 8. You know,
get back up, man.
We're gonna fall, we're gonna stumble, but remember priority, man. Priorities. And listen, women are always gonna be here. There's always gonna be a next Beyonce, a next whoever you think is the prettiest woman on earth. So just make sure you work on yourself, and sky's the limit, bro. Like I don't even know what to say at this point. It's like, you know, focus, stay focused.
Right. And, you know, for me, I guess as we're going to try to wrap it up, because we're not trying to keep y'all too long, but we'll
come back in another episode.
Right,
for sure. We'll probably do this once a month or whatever.
We'll see. We'll see how it falls in. It just felt imperfect for this episode. So, you know, we're doing it. But as, you know, some closing thoughts before we get to our final segment, you know, which is y'all favorite segment. You feel me?
Can't believe I'm going to
get these questions ready. But I'll just say this, you know, lust of the eye, bro. Like lust of the eye, bro. Like that's one of the crazy things that we get warned about from God all the time. Like the more you watch something, you know, the more you build, you grow. It's like you're feeding the lust, you're feeding your flesh, you're feeding yourself. Like the more you're gonna be thirsty for it, you're gonna have more hunger for it because you keep watching it over and over and over. Whether it's pornography, whether it's OnlyFans, whether it's IG models you're looking at, you know, the more you look at it, the more your mind's like, I have to have this, you know. And then at the same time, it's distracting you from doing what you're supposed to do. Now, just imagine if you were looking at investment that much. Yeah. You know, like just every day, like, oh, shoot,
the financial news and all that stuff.
Yeah, financial news, all the different. Whatever you're supposed to feed yourself by looking, whatever, reading, doing research, if you were to replace that with all these distractions that we just talked about, that would push you that much faster to your goal. You hear it all the time, like especially I've heard in, you know, like even sports, like one of the biggest names in sports, especially basketball, is LeBron James, you know. And when it comes to the playoff, there's this thing that he used to do where he goes blackout. Like, I'm not watching no social media, nothing. I'm just focused on basketball. I'm gonna research my opponents, read, like watch films, so I could be ready mentally. I'm locked in. Yeah, you feel me? So that's what you need to do as a man. When you have priorities, you got
good analogy. I like that.
You gotta lock in on your priorities because it's a list. When we talk priorities, it's a list of things you need to get done, but something got to get done first for the next thing to get done, the next thing to get done. I'm pretty sure on that list, a woman is on that list, or a job is on that list, a house is on that list, a career is on that list. You feel me? So once you start knocking these things down, you eventually going to get to everything you need to get to at its correct time. So, if I got any advice or anything I want to say to someone, as final closing thoughts is, feed yourself what you know that you need to get your goals met, your priorities met. If it's to study, if it's to, whatever your goals or your plans are, feed yourself what you need. All right. If you aspire to be a doctor, you got to feed yourself things that are going to help you be a doctor. A businessman, you got to circle yourself with people that's going to help you on that path. Don't let the distractions be your priority, man. Let the people that's supposed to be in your circle, like be the right people, and put blinders on, man. Like, just act like you don't understand anything.
Tunnel vision.
You feel me? Be complete.
That tunnel vision.
Yeah, tunnel vision, man. Act like you don't see it. Whatever. That's not your focus. That's not your priority. That's not your goal.
Yeah.
All right. So as a man, one of the biggest pointers we can give you guys to improve yourself. All right. That's the whole point of this episode. How can we as men better ourselves and improve ourselves? Is get your priorities in order. All right, and focus and lock in. That's it.
Yeah, and if you obviously a woman, our followings is like half and half.
Yeah,
or maybe a little bit more women.
Maybe even more women are following.
That all those things kind of it applies.
It applies to both.
It applies to both
sex.
Woman
And you could be
men.
able to peep a man that don't got their priorities in check and let them know, man.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Yeah, and then the last thing, obviously, if you're a young man, let's say you like, man, you guys just mentioned a lot of good things. I want to do better. Like, what's the first step? First step is, I would say, if you find someone that maybe a mentor, find yourself a mentor if you can. If you have, someone that you can trust, someone that that has been through a life that's doing well. Always surround yourself with people that's doing good. And you just kind of like talk to them. They'll give you advice, and obviously don't be one thing about life one thing about me, and one thing that I had to learn is that don't be afraid to approach people, especially those that can help you.
Big facts.
Like, don't be afraid to approach people that can actually make a difference in your life, change your life. And speak up, man. Just speak up and kind of like seek the help. There's a lot of help out there. And even if you're a man, let's say you're like, your boys, do you know anyone that I can reach out to? Hey, you can always kind of like shoot us a DM and whatnot, and we'll respond for sure. We always respond to our followers, and that's kind of like the last advice I kind of have.
Man, appreciate that, bro. I think that was a great topic for it. Like I said, it applies to both men and women, but the focus was kind of a little bit more on the men's side. Especially coming up after we literally had a month of a lot of beautiful, powerful, successful women that popped up on the show.
We had to do one for the men.
You've seen all the episodes, man. You've seen Creative Visions. You've seen all the episodes. Esther. You've seen everybody. You've seen Miss Haiti we had up in here. You've seen you've seen them all. Like, we had to give guys a little something too. You feel me? But it applies to both. All right. So now we're gonna venture into the part of the episode where we go crazy with these questions. You feel me? It's the segment that is highly anticipated. It's the segment that everybody's looking forward to except for Ninja. But he can't hide today.
Hold on. Let me get my mind. Let me get myself.
Let him get his mind ready.
Let me get it ready.
It's the question. So we got a man Clutch on the camera. You feel me? Clutch is ready to ask the question.
Clutch, man.
He asks is that he just speaks up.
Please tell me you didn't get them hard questions today, man.
Who knows? You don't know what we got. Well, we ready. We ready. I'm ready. So
he's smiling, but he gonna be hard. Oh my.
You know the rules already, bro. So let's go. All right.
So the first question is: you see me once in June, twice in November, and not at all in May. What am I?
Ori. E. The letter E.
That's correct.
All right, bet. Let's go.
Wow.
Ninja Marc not ready for this work.
Wow.
Oh man, let's go.
Yo.
Hey, Esther smoked me last time. On the previous episode, I'm not looking to get smoked.
How bad was it?
I think it was like 3-2, or was it 4-1? She smoked me. Let's just go.
Hey, man. Now I gotta pay the price?
Somebody gotta pay the price.
Alright.
All right, let's go.
All right, so the second question is, how many times can 10 be subtracted from 100?
How many times can 10 be subtracted from 100?
Mark.
Yes.
None. Never.
Incorrect.
How many times? Can...
Okay. Geez, I'm not trying to. Obviously, I don't feel like this is a math question, so I'm not gonna answer a math way first. I'll say 10 can be subtracted from 100 one time.
That's correct.
All right, bet. Let's go.
10 can only be subtracted from 100 once. Once you subtracted the first time, the second time...
It's not from 100
I give
anymore.
up.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
gonna give
go.
up already, man.
Hey, Ninja Mark getting roasted today, y'all. Come on. Let's hype this up.
Yo, come on, man. If you win this, we're not finishing this game. This gonna finish 3-0, not 5-0. I'm not going out like this, man. Give me an easy one, man. Come on, give me an easy one.
Give me an easy one, bro.
I guess the last two are easy.
Okay.
This one would be kind of... This one,
Is medium.
Now y'all see why I don't be trying to be on here sometimes?
Hey,
I
shoot,
get
we got him on here today. Let's go.
The
Third question.
Which is true and correct? Penguins flies or a penguin flies?
Which is true and correct?
Yeah, true and correct.
Mark.
Hey.
None.
That's correct.
My
Yeah,
dog got
baby.
on the board.
Yeah, let's
My
go.
dog got on the board. Let's go. 2-1.
I think you had that when you let me have it.
Nah,
didn't you?
I didn't.
No.
Why would I do that?
take it
bro?
easy on me now.
I'm not gonna do that. Did I look
Aight.
like I was taking it easy?
Oh no.
Shoot.
Let's see if I can tie this thing up.
For real. Let's go. Ninja woke up. He sees in danger. Like danger.
Number 4.
The magician.
If there are 12 fish and half of them drown, how many fish are left?
All right. Oh, fish don't drown.
That's correct.
Oh man, dang, that was
Yeah, the last two ones were kind
He said they're easy, bro. So I gotta roll with the punches. It is 3
I haven't done this in like 2
to
weeks.
1. IG.
Hey man,
3 to 1.
hey, they don't need to know about this. They don't need to know. But I was missing for 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah,
of
he
my
was out.
mind,
He was
you know
out
what
for a while.
I need to get
I gotta
back
take
on
my
that.
chance
you know
while
what
I
mean?
can.
Yeah,
You feel me?
gotta get back in the groove.
Let's go.
All right, so the last one.
It don't matter at this point, so don't matter at this point.
does
You
matter.
already won.
Hey, shoot. That's how I was when Esther had me through the wood. I was like, I gotta save myself. I mean,
All right, I'm trying to get. I'm gonna try to. All right.
make it look like I was competing.
Yeah. Let's go.
The last one. 10 copycats were sitting in a boat. One of them jumped out. How many are left?
10 what? Say it again.
10 copycats were sitting in a boat. One of them jumped out. How many are now left?
Ori, none.
That's correct.
They all followed the other one.
I'll follow the other ones.
Oh, copycat! Yes. Oh my god!
All
See,
right. Hey,
that's what happened
Esther,
when
this
you
is for
miss
you.
3 weeks, and you trying to come back. I should have got training before. I got. Oh my.
You should have seen how I felt, bro. She roasted me, bro. She was like, bam, bam, bam.
Bro. So now I'm paying the price,
Hey, now you gotta make somebody else pay the price.
bro. All right.
Look
Hey,
out,
listen.
look out, blessed.
Good stuff, man. Hey, good stuff.
Oh,
Man.
it's
That was
all
a good
love,
episode,
baby.
man. Good episode.
Yo, for real, man. You know, if you
Let's
guys,
level up, yo boys. Let's level up.
That's it, man. That's it. So we appreciate you guys for obviously sticking to this part of the episode, man. If you have not yet shared this, go ahead and share this with your friends, man. Because if you're watching this, that means somebody shared it with you, or you
Yeah.
either following. So we appreciate you for following. We appreciate you for watching, but we would love for you to just share this with your friends.
Share,
Also,
share.
we have other platforms. If you're watching this on YouTube only, we have Instagram. We have an Instagram page. If you're watching on Instagram, obviously we have a YouTube page, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor.
Yeah.
we're everywhere. All right. So if you have those access to those things, check us out on those platforms, man. We definitely appreciate y'all. We just gonna keep moving, man. We are making big strides, meeting big milestones, as a show, and we got some big news coming that we hopefully could share with you guys in a few future episodes, man. We were working hard, and hard work pays off, man.
We'll let our work do the talking. You guys
we will, man. Man, great episode, Ninja, man. We had to hold it down today, bro. We definitely did. We appreciate
good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the show. Appreciate your listeners. Appreciate
we love y'all,
crew.
Man. Keep
Clutch,
supporting.
Blessed, everybody that support. We love y'all, man.
Much love.
Speak on it. We out. Deuces.
Let's speak on it. Speak on this. Let's speak on it. Speak on this. Throw me a topic, let's speak on this. Say that again, let's lean on it. That is my pen, I'm being honest. That is the fact, don't meme on this. Speak on it. Speak on it. Speak on it. Let's speak on it. Speak on it. You thought we were done? Throw me a topic, let's speak on it. Say that again, let's lean on it.